learn that Fulton County DA Fani Willis won't have to testify in the divorce case involving one of her top prosecutors. At least not for now. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Cobb County Superior Court Judge Henry Thompson put a halt to those efforts during a hearing that attracted national attention for what it might mean for the election interference case. Fox 5 IT reporter Randy Travis was in the courtroom and is here now to help us understand what all of this means. Randy.
Yeah, Courtney and Tom, even the DA's supporters see this as an unforced error, a needless distraction in her attempt to prosecute more than a dozen people for allegedly trying to steal Georgia's electoral college votes from Joe Biden in 2020. All of it connected to an alleged romantic relationship with Willis's top special prosecutor, Nathan Wade.
Charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law.
According to explosive court filings, on that historic August night when DA Fani Willis announced the indictments of Donald Trump and 18 others, she was already in a romantic relationship with the man to her left, Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, who is separated from his wife, Joycelyn. One of the defendants in the case, Michael Roman, accuses Willis of personally profiting from the relationship, paying Wade more than $650,000 for his work running point on the Trump case, while also vacationing with him in California and the Caribbean, trips that his credit card statements indicate he paid for personally. Roman wants his indictment dismissed because of a conflict of interest. Records show Willis has paid Wade $100 more per hour than another special prosecutor, John Floyd, who is considered an expert in the field of racketeering cases.
She's trying to hide under the shield of her position.
The attorney for Wade's estranged wife, Joycelyn, wants to depose Willis in the still unresolved divorce case. But the DA's attorney fought back, saying the person with the answers would be Mr. Wade.
The plaintiff may have used marital funds for the trip, but every one of those issues involves the plaintiff's actions during the divorce. Had nothing to do with Ms. Willis.
Judge Henry Thompson agreed to stay the deposition scheduled for Tuesday. He'll make no final decision until he hears sworn testimony from Nathan Wade in a hearing later this month. Willis did not appear in court. Neither did the estranged wife.
She is devastated. This is not what she wants. She's not a villain in this tragedy, and she's not trying to be a hero.
Fani Willis, in her pleadings, suggested that you're, in a way, conspiring with Michael Roman and the Trump supporters to somehow delay or derail the case. What's your response to that?
My response is that's absurd.
So the timing is just a coincidence, you filing yours and Michael Roman's attorney filing her motion around the same time?
My answer to that question feels absurd. It literally was, but I don't know what to say because I don't think anybody's going to believe that.
Meanwhile, a Georgia state senator says he'll propose legislation to establish a special committee on investigations to examine the allegations surrounding Willis for the, quote, preservation of the integrity of our justice system.
We've seen in the news a number of reports that are concerning that if they're true would be a significant breach of public trust and something that we believe the Senate has an interest in knowing about.
He says the committee will be made up of 6 Republicans and 3 Democrats and could start its work as early as next month.
It's clear that this isn't going away, at least for now, Randy. This judge ordered the divorce proceedings unsealed. Is there anything interesting in that?
Took a quick look at it, Courtney, and I didn't see any mention of Fani Willis. In fact, there was a lot of mention about Nathan Wade not being forthcoming with his money, which is typical in divorce cases like this. He'll have a chance to speak under oath about all this January 31st.
You mentioned that the advocates for DA Fani Willis see this as a distraction in her prosecution of the election interference case. It'll be interesting as this goes on how that bleeds over into that case and the ramifications of this whole thing unfolding.
Yeah, there's some suggestion that Nathan Wade should step down or she should remove him as I said, her point man basically for this entire case. But no talk of that from her office, at least not yet.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure you'll keep following this for us. Randy, thanks.
Thanks, Randy.